and welcome to my channel. So I did a video last week talking about how I stay on a raw vegan diet and the things that I do to plan foods, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about how I have managed to stay on the raw foods and what I do, what is my regimen for how I eat, and the way that I'm able to balance my raw vegan diet and my lifestyle, and how I keep myself full and satiated, and what I think is really important to do to stay raw vegan and be able to get all the nutrients that you need and to thrive on the lifestyle, and I guess just maintain a healthy diet with all of the nutrients intact, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I want to start off by saying that I think that one of the things that's really important that I hear some people that fail on a raw vegan diet say is that they just don't like to eat fruit. And I think that fruit is really important to add to your diet. I don't think that it's the only thing that you should eat. I'm not a fruitarian, and I know that some people are, and I know that some people survive on that, and that may work for some people. I don't believe would work for me, especially because of the fact that I don't get fruit or enough different kinds of varieties of fruit. And I don't think that a lot of the fruits probably have enough nutrients. I think that greens definitely have a lot more of the minerals that you need, whereas the fruit has vitamins, but I don't know if it has the minerals that you really need. So what I usually do is eat fruit during the day, and this makes it a lot easier for me to be able to eat in between working and things, because I don't really have to pack anything. I could just cut up fruit, or I can just eat it as is, depending on what it is. And the water content and the sugar in the fruit really keeps me very energetic all day, and I don't really feel hungry to eat anything else until maybe later on in the day. And so one of the reasons I think that fruit is important to eat is because of the fact that I think that you really need to have those carbohydrates. I think that if you're eating a lot of nuts and seeds and salads and stuff, you're really not getting a lot of carbohydrates in that. So I think that you need that sugar and that carbohydrate to add to the diet to kind of balance everything out. And I found out that this worked back a couple of years ago when I was eating a more high-fat diet and just eating a lot of nuts and seeds, and I was really feeling not quite as energetic when I would eat a lot of nuts. Still felt a lot better than I ever felt on a standard diet, but still I have felt a lot more of that life force feeling when I'm just eating the fruit during the day, and I have much better sustainable energy toward the end of the day than when I'm eating too many nuts. However, I like to maybe at the end of a day eat a handful of nuts, depending on what I'm going to eat that night. But when I come home, I always end up eating greens. I always end up making a big salad, or maybe sometimes I have made a wrap and I decide to just put a bunch of different greens in that, or cut up a zucchini squash and add some kind of sauce. Sometimes it might be an avocado sauce, sometimes it might be tahini, or maybe cashew nut, which I don't eat cashew nut a real lot, but every once in a while I do. So this kind of rounds everything out for me and kind of makes me feel like I can stay on this lifestyle and get everything that I need. And the reason why I decided to talk about this is because I see a lot of people out there that talk about the fact that they didn't, they failed on it and they just felt hungry a lot. And I think that the fruit is equally as important, and the carbs in the fruit that you need. I think that you do need some nuts and seeds, whether or not some people decide to be on a lower fat, or some people need more fat, and some people might need more protein. And sometimes, because I do exercise and I use weights, sometimes I always have a smoothie early in the morning before I start eating fruit. And that kind of helps me too. And sometimes I may put some kind of protein in there. Sometimes I've had an almond. It's by Rob Mills, and it's made from almonds, and it's a protein. It's a full protein powder, and it kind of makes me feel, after I lifted weights or something, like I have a little bit more in me that morning that I might need. But I don't have those all the time. I don't have the smoothies with the protein in it all the time. Sometimes I will use something different, and I just kind of change it up all the time, because I think that it's so important to always be eating different things, a variety all the time, that variety really is important for your microbiome. And I think that sometimes people may get caught up in eating a lot of the same things, and then they might feel as if something happens and they're not feeling like anything is satisfying to them anymore. So these are the things that I do. And at night, if I eat a supper meal like a salad or something and I still feel hungry, I might add even an additional smoothie. I might have a couple of dates, and I'm not real crazy about eating a lot of dates because I think they are not that good for your teeth, but sometimes they do fill in the ends a little bit. And I do what I have to do to feel satiated. That is the bottom line, is when you feel satiated, you know that you've gotten everything that you need. And so this is what I do, and I have found it to be the best thing for me to be on a raw vegan diet. I feel my best all the time. Right now I am working constantly, and I have more energy than most people my age to be able to work a job 7 days a week. I get out early when I work, but I do work all days, and I am very busy all the time. And so I keep this energy level, which is very steady all the time. I'm always able to still have the same energy in the evenings that I have when I wake up in the morning. And that's really important to me, because I'm a very busy person, and I would like other people to feel as good as I feel. And I know that there's a lot of stories and a lot of people out there, and failed raw vegan diets, and people who claim that this isn't the healthiest way to live, that you're not getting all the nutrients. And I feel that there are ways, and I'm not putting down anybody else's lifestyle or foods either, because people have to do what they have to do. And if they feel that they need certain things that aren't on the raw vegan diet, I'm not to tell them not to do that. I'm just to tell people that you can live on a raw vegan diet. You can make it work, because the energy and the lifestyle is just so worth it. For me it is. And anybody that wants it and wants that kind of a feeling, that you can get that without having that failure of a raw vegan diet. So I hope that this helps somebody out there. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.